Hello everybody, I am here with a Hoka Mach X3 for some relaxed daily mileage, super easy stuff, hopefully if I don't get carried away. Yesterday was big workout in the morning, and then I also took out the Mega Blast in the afternoon, and you know how that goes. When you take out a fast shoe, you tend to go somewhat fast. So today, these are also not the slowest in the world, but for whatever reason, they just feel really nice to run in when you have beat up legs. That's what I've been experiencing with them so far. So that's that. It's also not a milestone in these, but getting close to a milestone where I'm around 150. I'm going to give you all a 200-mile review on these when I get there in them, but I wanted to take them out again to get a little bit more information to you all on the Hoka Mach X3. So let's go run. I decided I needed a quarter zip. It was a lot nicer out earlier. I mean, it's still really nice out. It's just chillier now than earlier in the day. A little bit more about the run today. I'm gonna go slightly further since it's a single day. Not doubling today for the first time in couple of weeks for a Wednesday. But yeah, I had a second round of physical therapy today, and it turns out I'm just really stiff all around, and that's probably causing a lot of my form issues and my hips being oriented rightwards, which causes fit issues in the shoes, in certain shoes more than others. Over the course of owning this shoe, it has for sure started to feel higher and higher drop. And I actually suspect that might be why I like it for the day after workouts. Because really, the day after workouts, I'm trying to offload my calves. And nothing does that quite like higher drop shoes. But they advertise it as a 5mm drop, and when I first got it, that felt about right. And I really think it is the Peba in the forefoot pancaking and making the drop dynamically, or not even dynamically, now statically, a higher drop. Because the Peba's flat, but the EVA is barely compressed. I don't know, maybe it's just cheap Peba in the forefoot. Either way, it still feels nice underfoot, and it feels even nicer post-workouts. And I really think that's what's going on. Does anybody know, does Run Repeat test cut the shoes in half after they've run in them, or do they use a fresh pair? The reason that I asked that is Run Repeat had the Mach X2, which has the same midsole as this, listed at some ridiculous drop, 10 or 11 millimeters of drop when it's supposedly 5, right? So, but it would make sense to me if, the pair they get to test, they run in, it compresses, they cut it in half, they measure the compressed drop because of the Peba in the forefoot. That's what I'm speculating here. But yeah, I'll either do the research on this or I'll forget, and somebody can let me know in the comments. I'm currently taking us up to the abandoned building to see what progress has been made. Yesterday in the afternoon, I went by here and they were digging and chipping stuff, putting all the logs into a chipper and chipping it up, and then there's a digger digging. I'm not a construction worker, but that tells me something's happening. So it's pretty windy right through here, but I just got a couple of shots of the sawdust situation, and this whole back area too is starting to get a little more cleared out, and it looks like they're making progress again. I don't know if it's going to be this weekend. That was what their stated intent was. Hi. We're gonna find out. But yeah, there's less stuff in the building, more stuff outside of it. I don't know if there's actually less stuff in it, but it looks like they've been pulling things outside of it, getting their equipment ready, and who knows, maybe we'll have a demolition this weekend. Be pretty sick. My legs feel like wet noodles right now. I am so tired from yesterday. It's like not even a muscular soreness. It's just noodle legs, as if there were no muscles remaining in them. Like Gilderoy Lockhart took my bones and removed them from my legs. The last couple of runs that I've done off camera, I've come out more towards the city, and it's nice. It's a little more challenging because you do have to stop a little more regularly than if I were to just stick to the Genesee Riverway Trail. But the benefit of it is a refreshing scenery. I get to collect more streets that I haven't run down. That's a fun one. And frankly, the winter weather is going to prevent me from doing this for a series of months. So if I'm going to go exploring, there is but one time, and it is now. We're going through my old neighborhood from like 7 years ago maybe. This is Pearl Street. I believe we're still on it, and it'll connect to a series of turns that leads to my old house within probably about a mile, and I will show you that shortly. So coming up on your left is my old house. The one on the vines is somebody else's. This one is mine. I'm pretty sure those are our drapes. That can't be right. But yeah, I used to live down here. There's a ton of neighborhood cats in this area. There's tons of neighborhood cats. This is the Triangle Park. It's shaped like a triangle. People always hang out here. Super nice. Lots of leaves. I am feeling the fatigue today. It's just this overall bodily weakness in my legs. My breath feels pretty under control, and like, I don't know, upper body feels fine because I didn't do anything there. But yeah, my legs are just a little wibbly wobbly. I'll have more to say about the shoes when we get back, but I've barely been noticing them this entire run, which is good. The only thing I'll say right now is they're just a little narrow, and that's something that I think I mentioned before. But yeah, more on that later. We're taking this truly off-road because I've never actually been down here before. I'm not really sure how you're supposed to, like, by footpath get down here, but I'm sure we're gonna find out. So we're obviously gonna get up on the stage. I mean, come on. This place is sick. Okay. Imagine if I just started doing all of my videos here. And this is my new stage, my new office. I need to rig out the sound system. I need to make sure the acoustics are getting set up, but by the time we're ready to do a live tour, I could sell out this little field. Yeah, the squirrels are applauding right now, so I'm gonna go back to running. This has been fun. Thank you on this little distraction for joining me. So I did actually just immediately find out how to get to this place. This is a part of Highland Park, and I've seen that before. I've seen that amphitheater before, but I've just never really known how to get down to it, and I didn't want to necessarily run through the grass, but today I felt compelled to take action. This is what happens to me running towards the end of the day. I start to lose my mind a little bit. Too much has happened to me today that all of my screws that in the morning I tightened very tightly have come loose with all of the jostling of the day. And now I'm just a little rattly. Mount Hope is truly pretty today. It's a really, really gorgeous afternoon. Running at this time is not something that I always do. Definitely out a lot later. Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Good. Hi. It's busy here. I rarely see this many people. Hope there's not like a funeral or something. I'm realizing that I haven't been super talkative on this run, and I'm also realizing that the fatigue I might be, or that I am feeling, might be attributable to the fact that it's the afternoon and I've been awake for longer. Normally on my second run of the day, I just don't talk to anybody, and this is vaguely the same time that I have my second run of the day. It's a little later even. So that might be why I feel so tired. Riveting commentary, I know. When the Mach X3 was new, I remember it being really nice as a longer run shoe, verging on long run. Today what I'm noticing is that the compression set resistance does not seem to be all that great, especially in the forefoot. Like, it feels like I'm bottoming out the Peba. I can't feel the plastic plate for sure. There's just so much foam in this shoe, it would be hard to feel anything. But there's not a lot of the soft top layer of Peba coming through anymore. It was at the beginning of the run, is what I'm trying to say. And right now, not so much. And in previous runs, that's not something I remember noticing. Maybe the Peba is just really not durable. 12 and change. The thought that was floating to the top of my mind, like a marble through so much sand, is I don't love these middle distance runs or middle long distance runs where I would consider like up until 10 a daily run, and anything over 10, even 11, even 12, there's like a psychological barrier there, even like getting to a half, where I don't do those so often. I do them twice a week generally, although last week I only did it once a week. The times that I generally will do it is on a Wednesday when I have a single day, and on a Saturday, but I'm with people in run club, so it takes away from the monotony of it all. And you might think, well, you're running 100-mile weeks, that how isn't anything else throughout the week like taxing or boring or like unlikable? Well, I think it's simply repetition. I do so many of the 9 to 10 mile runs, or even 8 to 10 mile runs. I'll do so many doubles that it's rhythmic. It's something that I do all the time. I have like a routine around it, and it doesn't feel all that long because I do it so frequently that that's just the length that I'm running for. And I do 12, 13, 14 so infrequently that the only times I'm really doing it are when I'm with people or occasionally by myself, and that's when it's always a slog to get through. And so that's kind of how the run was today. Pivoting into the shoe a little bit. Mach X3, I really like this. It's a cruiser. It's nice and relaxing. I think that, unfortunately, the Peba is starting to pancake, and it's a little early for that because it's around 150 miles. I'm not loving how early that is. But I bet you if I let this sit on the shelf for another week or so, by the next time I take it out, if I only take it for 8 or 9 or 10, maybe even only 8 or 9, then it will not feel so pancaked and flat, and I will have more of the Peba feel throughout the run versus the EVA on the bottom. It was only really towards the end of the run that this started to feel like I was running basically just on EVA. And I do think that I'm onto something with this, how run repeat measures things. So I'm going to look into that for you all to see if run repeat is measuring the stack and drop after they run in it, because that would explain why this measured in at 10 or 11 millimeters of drop. When it was new, it did not feel anything like that. I know I said all of this out on the run, but I know a lot of you also skipped to the end, so wanted to include it in the recap. Otherwise, I should probably get inside and feed my dogs. It is a lot later than they're used to being fed, and they're probably going to be so overjoyed to see me. So until tomorrow, stay in motion. Boys, are you hungry? Yeah, I know. Are you hungry? Stay. Now these are my good boys. Are you hungry? Oh, yum. Yum.